Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. It's been a decent week, not too many low points to speak of. Of course, I didn't chart the LSU defense at any point this week. Preston Guy, our next guest, did. TigerBait.com, he's with us every Friday. Joins us on the Jim's Firearms Hotline. Did you at least have a cocktail during that, or how do you get through that?
Hunt, I needed a cocktail. And, not only just as an LSU alumni, I mean, obviously grew up loving these Tigers, but as a lover of the sport, right, it was just some bad football on display. And I guess I made it worse for myself only focusing on plays that went 10 or more yards. But it just, basically you throw a dart at the board and you found something else you did wrong. I'd say the things that stuck out the most to me was the loafing around on defense, especially during a live play where you kind of have a chance to go get the defender. There's just something about having pride in your team, not letting a guy gash you for 30 yards and then you're trotting around on the field. Show some pride, show some effort, at least try to go after him. And then the missed tackles, Brian Kelly in his presser did a lot of our homework for us, just told us 34 tackles for 284. It sounds about right. If you think about that, if LSU can just tackle well, then LSU wins that game, and it's probably not particularly close. So if you're looking for optimism, there you go.
Look, I have my questions about the talent level in the defensive backfield. I have my questions about their ability to rush the passer in spots. Those I feel like could be difficult fixes. Trying doesn't seem like a difficult fix. Was it that obvious when you were watching? Because when I'm watching the game, that's kind of the last thing I'm looking for as a guy that's not really given 110%, as they say.
Yeah, the thing is about loafing is it's something you kind of catch on your review a lot more. But this time when I was watching it live, I noticed it, particularly on, long runs where the backside safety or backside corner, just doesn't feel like sprinting across the field. And it's like, man, you're a heralded athlete who probably runs a 4.5 40. Go run him down. See if you can trip him up or something, And you saw it from, one of the things stood out, Ashton Stamps, his loaf, that one is just ingrained in my head because you're talking about a freshman getting on the field. He should be having a lot of optimism and energy, and coaches have spoken so highly of him. And it's just like, what was going on, man? You're the backside. You were within 10 yards, but then just started jogging toward him. It's rare that it sticks out on your first watch, but when I noticed 2 or 3 times watching it live, I said, I bet you it's going on a lot more, and it was. On those 10 or more yard plays alone, I counted 13.
That's disheartening, to say the very least. Deuce Chestnut not with the team right now. Ryan Kelly kind of laid out the 4 corners that they're going to roll with. Did they have a better combination of corners? Is there one that's any better than the other?
Hunt, it seems like no matter who you've tried out there this year, they haven't been too successful. And a lot of it is the style in which you're playing. I do think you're going to have to let these guys do some more man coverage. And Lane Kiffin just put on a masterpiece of a show, just how to abuse a heavy zone system, and a lot of these guys are just playing too far off. I think Zy Alexander is the one guy that they're really married to. And I think that other corner spot, they're just looking for something to stick. But even Zy hasn't been perfect. Albeit against Ole Miss, they really didn't, other than when they were playing soft zone coverages and they know he gives up, 5 or 6 yards on a dig and a curl. They really weren't bullying him too much. They were looking the other way. I wish I had that answer, Hunt. If I did, I'd probably be making 10 times as much as I do
now. Pete Jenkins has made a lot of money throughout the course of his career coaching the defensive line. Can he help?
Yeah, he definitely has an opportunity to help. I still believe the defensive line is the most talented unit on this team. They're just not really playing like it. throughout the year, it's been a lot of close, no cigar moments for this defensive line. And in the run protection, the run game, they've been getting blown off the ball. I counted a lot of defensive linemen getting blown off the ball, which just, not only gets your linebackers blocked, but then you're not able to stop the run yourself. Their stances are terrible. Jacobian Guillory goes out there with his butt squatted way back as if he's in a offensive tackle pass stance. Consistently throughout the game, I had to stop counting. It was disgusting me too much. They're 1 to 2 yards off the ball. These are a lot of fundamentals, and that was the theme of my film study. It's less about the actual plays being called and more about the execution and fundamentals. If you're 2 yards off the ball, the lineman is 1 yard off his ball. He's got a 3-yard head start when he comes downhill trying to block you. You let a 300-pound man get that much momentum to push you in a run block, I mean, you're just going to get toast every single time. That is the worst-case scenario. And you've heard guys like T-Bob ranting on that, saying, that's exactly what I want as an offensive lineman. You shouldn't be hearing that. So, yes, I think Pete Jenkins, because it's cleaning up of the fundamentals, and we all know about John Janet coaching out of position and Jimmy Lindsey and the struggle that's been going on there, yes, I do think he has an opportunity to quickly make an impact with these guys. Whether or not they're actually doing it, we're just going to have to see. I mean, getting the coaching and being receptive to coaching and then executing on the coaching are all different things, as we know.
So let's look at this Missouri offense. Brady Cook's thrown for over 320 in 3 straight weeks, and Luther Burden looks like one of the best players in college football. First of all, what do they do with him?
Well, here's how you stop the Missouri offense with this LSU defense. You don't. You roll out Jaden Daniels and you score 45, and you hope that's enough. That being said, you got to try to aim for that bend, don't break defense. The goal from this defense, and I think we all kind of had this in our mind watching fall camp. No one thought that this defense was going to go out there and be a top 5 defense this year. We saw the struggles in fall camp. The signs were there. Can they be average? Can they be that 50, 60th ranked unit in the country instead of, 117th or whatever they rank right now? They definitely have enough talent to be that average unit. You tell me LSU didn't recruit enough guys to be just middle of the pack in the SEC? That's I will never believe that. Can you hold them, to a reasonable amount? Instead of 706 yards, can you limit them to 500? And if you just focus on tackling, sure, give up that dig on a soft zone, but you got to tackle your guy. The standard you're trying to elevate your play is you're not trying to go from the worst defense to the best defense in the country. You're just trying to go from the worst defense to a defense that plays well enough to give your elite offense a chance to win the game.
Did you at least chart the elite offense, or you bypassed that whole thing and just went for the disaster?
No, I didn't. I tend to only chart the problem of the week. Okay. I try to find what went wrong in the game and look at it and see how that can be fixed. Charting the good stuff. It's like, yes, Jaden Daniels with an NFL throw. Oh, look, another NFL throw. What does that really do for you? You don't really learn anything from that. If I had to critique the offense, they got really conservative at the back end of the game, really trying to milk that clock off instead of, having that killer instinct. Go down there and score again. I thought sticking Caleb Jackson in the game so late and calling a swing pass to him in that situation where you absolutely must have that first down, you hit him in the hands, great play design, wrong player. That's not his game, at least not yet.
Yeah.
And then Logan Diggs was just killing it all game long, and he's a great receiver out of the backfield. What was with that personnel decision? That drives me nuts. But outside of that, there's not too much to critique on the offense. I mean, they were fantastic. They hung up, 49 points, did their part.
I think you alluded to this answer a little bit earlier, but I'll ask it a little bit more directly. A lot of times, whether it's Kevin Sumlin at A&M or Josh Heupel at Tennessee, teams that run this real tempo offense whose defenses are struggling, we always say, why don't you slow it down a little bit, give your defense a chance to rest, control the clock, whatever. Do you want to see a little bit more of that, or just say, hey, your job as an offense is not to help the defense at all. Your job is to go score 50 points if you can do that.
Hunt, that is my biggest fear this week, is that they're going to see what happened to their defense, and they're going to start trying to play defense on offense, and they're going to tweak with a unit that is top 5 in the country. You've got a quarterback who is deserving of Heisman love right now, although he's not getting any because his defense gave up 45 and 55 points in 2 losses, that they're going to meddle with that to try to help out their defense. And, we saw what happened to that offense when they got a little more conservative at the back end of the game. And we've seen what's happened with Jaden Daniels with his development this year, quite frankly, because he has gotten more aggressive and more accurate with his downfield passing, and you really want to keep on doing that. That's what makes this offense elite. Jaden Daniels developing as a downfield passer is what has elevated this offense from good to elite, and it can revert back into being conservative where you're scoring, 20-something points against Texas A&M last year. You don't want to go back to that. You want this unit to keep on playing exactly the way it is. So I'm very afraid of the fact that, yes, they may try to do that, but I hope they don't.
How do you think it goes tomorrow morning?
Vegas has LSU as 6.5-point favorites. And everything you watched last week and the matchup of Brady Cook versus this defense and how excited Missouri is with their program would tell you the opposite of that. Makes me think that Vegas knows something LSU doesn't. I also think this defense will revert to the mean. I don't think they are as bad as they showed last week because, quite frankly, I don't think I've ever seen a defense actually be as bad as what they showed last week. So I think the defense is going to improve slightly, and they're going to hold them to maybe 35 instead of. I think we're going to see something. I think LSU does take care of business, 42-35. Just not based on what I saw last week, but what I believe they will make adjustments to.
Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.